Sports Talk Show. The Alford Sports Talk Show. Your host is here for the show tonight to interview our special guest. Show highlight the Alford Sports Talk Show. The Alford Sports Talk Show. Football, basketball, baseball, hockey, soccer, boxing, tennis, golf, and racing. The Alford Sports Talk Show. The Alford Sports Talk Show. Tune in for all the news and scores, reporting on the games and so much more. The Alford Sports Talk Show. The Alford Sports Talk Show. The Alford Sports Talk Show. The Alford Sports Talk Show.
Welcome, everybody, to another great episode of the Alford Sports Talk Show. I'm Alan, and tonight we're going to have a fantastic show for you. So glad you could join us here tonight. We're going live on all formats: Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, X, and IG Live. That's right. Feel free to chime in on any one of the platforms here on the Alford Sports Talk Show. We invite you to, and we're going to have a wonderful show for you. First and foremost, we got to go ahead and thank one of our outstanding sponsors here, Chef G's Florida Barbecue Sauce. So delicious and addicting, you may need a support group. Make sure you don't forget to visit Chef G's right here at 301 South 22nd Street, Tampa, Florida. That's right. Visit them right there, 301 South 22nd Street, Tampa, Florida. Hey, if you need some outstanding sauce, you need something to go ahead and take yourself to the next level during the spring break week, definitely check it out. Chef G's Florida Barbecue Sauce. So delicious and addicting, you may need a support group. Definitely make sure you go ahead and get it. Let me show you those bottles right there. Right there. You got the Florida Gold Honey Mustard Bourbon, which is made with Dunamis Bourbon. And he's got right there the classic. All three. This gentleman is outstanding. Those are the tickets to Super Bowl 59 for doing outstanding work during the Hurricane, Helene, and Milton. My man's he's a former vet. Why not support him? Go ahead and check it out. And I'm going to play a great song here for you. This is going to be the Chef G's Florida Barbecue Sauce song by Sam Scola Songs. Sam Scola wrote the first song of the show. Here is number 2, and then you're going to hear a lot more about Sam Scola songs throughout the broadcast. But let me go ahead and play that song for the Chef G's Florida Barbecue Sauce song. Let's go.
Comes in 4 varieties. Chef G's Florida Barbecue Sauce. Natural flavor, Chef G's Florida Barbecue Sauce, Florida Gold Honey Mustard on burgers and ribs, tasty fusion on pork and sausage, classic taste for chicken steak tips, a hot heat wave on meatballs and ham. It's a cookout treat. Chef G's Florida Barbecue Sauce. Serve on fish and vegetables. Chef G's Florida Barbecue Sauce. Chef G's Florida barbecue sauce. Chef G's Florida barbecue sauce.
Chef G's Florida barbecue sauce. So delicious and addicting, you may need a support group. Make sure you don't forget to visit Chef G's right there in beautiful Tampa, Florida, 301 South 22nd Street, Tampa, Florida. And if you can't come down to Tampa, it's okay. Visit Chef G's right at flbbqsauce.com, flbbqsauce.com. Don't forget that delicious sauce. Let us know how it tastes right here on the Allen Alford Sports Talk Show. So thank you so much, Chef G's, for being one of our outstanding sponsors here at the Allen Alford Sports Talk Show. We tremendously appreciate you. And yes, we're going to go ahead and move on here with some great stuff. It's going to be a lot to discuss, a lot to unpack. And we're going to go ahead and dive into some UFL news and a lot to discuss on this. A lot to discuss because, it's, let me start with always the positives. Want to give thanks and props to the UFL, the All-Intern Renegades. We was able to go ahead and do a media availability, which was fantastic. That media availability allowed me to go ahead and talk to, Coach Stoops, which wasn't a surprise. I was expecting to see Coach Stoops, quarterback Luis Perez. Also not a surprise, just as normal standing operation. But lo and behold, chairwoman and owner. That's fantastic. Danny Garcia came in during the media availability. They literally told me right before you hit the record button on Zoom, hey guys, today we're going to have Coach Stoops, we're going to have owner Danny Garcia, and we're going to have quarterback Luis Perez, which was an outstanding, pleasant surprise. Literally found out just like that right before we went live, right before they hit the record button on the Zoom. It was outstanding because it's a great opportunity for you to go ahead and ask questions. And, Coach Stoops is back. That's the thing about the UFL and the Spring League is that you're not really certain sometimes if someone is going to return, whether it be a coach or a player. And Coach Stoops was one of those people that I was specifically asked right towards the end of the season, hey, how about your situation being the coach's situation? Would you like to come back for another season? And he was basically saying he would love to, but his contract expires and he would have to renew the contract. He's not really certain if the UFL would want him back. So you have to kind of go through that process again. But he did say he was interested in coming back for another season. I did not know whether he was going to or come back or not. You don't know. Lo and behold, he did sign a contract. They did announce he's going to be the coach, and they got a chance to see him the next season. And same thing with quarterback Luis Perez. He was very, I would just say at the time, non-committal. He wanted to go to the NFL. I was surprised to see him coming back this season. Glad they're both back, but that's how the season ended. And remember that point that I'm making here about sometimes when the season ends, you're not sure if they're going to come back the next season. Hold that thought because I'm going to talk about that a lot more in this broadcast, specifically about what was filed today by the United Football Players Association, UFPA. I'm going to get into that in just a little bit. But some big surprise was that, owner, chairwoman, Danny Garcia was in the Zoom. This is definitely a pleasant surprise because this is the third year I'm covering Danny Garcia as an owner. The 1 year for the XFL, the first year for the UFL, and now we're in the second year of the UFL. So that was really cool that she came in and did that media availability, which, was a pleasant surprise. First time in almost 3 years that's ever happened to me. So on the flip side, I'm so glad I did show up because if I didn't show up for that Zoom call, I would have been kicking and punching the air like, how did you miss a Zoom call where the owner showed up the one time in 3 years? So not to say it in a negative way, but usually it's the coach and the players. That's usually what's on the agenda, what's on the schedule. Typically, you get a coach, the player, and maybe another player. Maybe it's usually an offensive player and a defensive player, 1-1. That's usually what you get typically during the media availability. The coach, an offensive, and a defensive player. So that's how it's been for the last going on 3 years. And for them to say, hey, Danny Garcia is going to be here in this Zoom literally a minute before they had pressed the record button on the Zoom. If you ever done a Zoom, you probably know what I'm talking about. I was like, wow, I was pleasantly surprised. So, and the thing about it is, it was on my mind about what the dispute as far as labor was going on, but Danny was just so happy and excited, and it's like a first day back from school. I did not want to get into something that was kind of controversial and kind of crushing to her spirit, or like, hey, you show up now, I'm asking these tough questions about labor disputes and stuff like that. And I'm actually glad I didn't ask, because it was reported today that the UFL made a statement that they will not address any labor related questions or things that are in litigation. And this is now officially in litigation. The UFPA, which is short for United Football Players Association, has announced the filing of an unfair labor practice charges with the National Labor Relations Board. I'm going to just read some of the allegations, and then I'm going to share you my thoughts. So the UFPA makes the following allegation against the UFL, threatening to cut players because of their participation in protected union activities, cutting quarterback Quentin Dormady in response to his participation in protected union activities. That was a second. 3, creating new rules regarding player discipline to discourage players from participating in protected union activities. And they have 3 again. Creating rules regarding player discipline that have reasonable tendency to chill players from exercising their rights, denying the union access to league facilities, threatening to remove union representative from areas to which the union has lawful access rights, engaging in surveillance and player participation in protected union activities, creating the impression of surveillance with respect to player participation in protected union activities, threatening to discipline players because of their participation in protected union activities, and failing and refusing to provide information requested by the union that is relevant and necessary to collective bargaining. So that, in a nutshell, is what the filing is about. And I would just say that this is disappointing. It is disappointing. And I can talk about it on my show here. I know the UFL is not going to talk about it, but I'm going to address my personal thoughts on this after reading everything that's involved. And let me just give you some of my background. I do have over 30 years of corporate America experience. I do have some familiarity in this type of topic. And I'm just going to share what I, kind of said a little bit last week, that in most cases, I do agree with the players. I do not agree with the players, and I do not agree with the Players Association. I just think this is a way to cause diversion and distraction. And I don't agree with the players because, look, this is not a job where you're going to work 5 to 10 years, get a pension, get a retirement, and, as long as you can produce, you'll be on the field. This is basically an opportunity. Let me break it down for you. And again, this is going to be some tough love for some players and some coaches. This is an opportunity that you had where you may have played in the NFL, maybe not, but you're past your college years. And this is an opportunity for you to showcase your talent to maybe somebody in the NFL for you to get picked up for that opportunity. Now, Coach Phillips did say some of the players in the league they're not looking for an opportunity to play in the NFL. They're looking for an opportunity just to play football. Well, I'm going to get to that part in a moment, but listen, this is an opportunity for you to showcase your talent and possibly get to the next level. Look at Jake Bates. He was able to go ahead and play in this league. He played in the NFL. Same thing with Brandon Aubrey. Both players, by the way, were my kickers in fantasy football in the UFL. The NFL, I'm sorry, the NFL. But yes, if you're a positional player in the NFL and the UFL, it is going to be a very low percentage, not high, a very low percentage that you're going to make it and make it to an NFL roster. That's just the facts. It's not something I'm making up. Just look at the numbers, look at the statistics, look how many players went to camp, look how many made it to an NFL roster. It's not very high, meaning you have to pray every day that you're on that field, that you ball out, somebody notices you, and you get the opportunity. If I'm playing in this league as a player, I'm not even looking at year 2. I'm looking at year 1, balling out, giving it my all on the field, doing every single interview, talking to everybody, making sure I'm putting myself in the best position, because this is about basically a season for you to advertise yourself, promote yourself. That's what it is. Promote and advertise yourself for a season. And I wouldn't even look for season 2, because the reality is, if you play in the spring league, the UFL, if you play there 2+ years, after the second year, if you don't get picked up, the chances of you getting signed by an NFL team drastically reduce, because now you're 3 years into the spring league. That's your age now has a factor. In the NFL, if you're 30 years old and you're running back, even if you are someone who could produce, in most cases, not in all, but in most cases, you're an afterthought. They're looking for the young guy who's coming out of college to replace you, sometimes even before the age of 30. But the point is, when you're in the spring league for 3 seasons or more, not to be harsh, not to be mean, but I'm just a person who's always is honest, and a person who's very positive, but I don't negate the reality. Some people are positive all the time and they just forget what the reality is. I don't forget what the reality is. If you're in the spring league coming in a 3rd season, the chance of you making it to the NFL is actually very, very small. You have to come in year 1, ball the heck out, and hope that a team grabs you right after the year. This is an opportunity for you to promote and advertise yourself for a season, maybe 2. That's it. There's no reason for you to cause dissension about getting more money, cause all this ruckus in year 2, where the league, somebody had commented, and I'll give them credit. They said, quote unquote, the players are trying to bankrupt a broke league. The players are trying to bankrupt a broke league, quote unquote, what a fan said. Now, I wouldn't say it's a broke league, but let's look at the facts. In the NFL, you have 32 teams. Each one of the teams, the owners of the teams are multi-billionaires. The NFL is a multi-billion-dollar company that has been in business for over 50 years. This is year 2 for the UFL, and you can't count year 1, in my opinion, because yes, they had the XFL, but that was 1 season, and it really was a setup to join the 2 leagues together, the XFL and the USFL. That's what it was. Now, last year to me was really year 1, because you had 2 leagues merging. You had to get rid of some teams. It's a different dynamic. So you're really are in year 2. In year 2, you're striking for more money. For what reason? If you really love something and you want to make it, you would do it for free. And that was a quote another star player in the spring league told me. I'm not going to mention their name. They told me, if you really want to be in this league and you want to play, you would do it for free. And I'm not saying the players should do it for free per se, because I know you have bills and expenses, but this is an opportunity for you to promote and advertise yourself. If you do get signed, let's say you are the anomaly, you're the outlier, and you do get signed and picked up. You go to training camp, you get an opportunity, the NFL, plop, they want to give you a contract. Well, you just hit the jackpot because now you're in the door. Now, it's not the end all be all, but you're in the door and you're going to go into bigger, hopefully, and better things. This is just a year or two advertisement, promotion. That's it. You can't look past even year one, because after year two, if you don't get signed in year two by a team, the reality is year three should really just be a year of fun for you, because you can still ball out. You can still be competitive. You can give it your all. But if you don't get signed after year two, chances are you're not going to get signed by an NFL team. That is just the harsh reality of it. It's not something I'm making up. Just look at the numbers. So if I played in this league for 2 years, if they allowed me to play a third year, I'd be like, you know what? This is my last hurrah. I'm going to go out here and ball out, have fun, try to win a championship. But after that year's up, I'm going to have to start filing applications just like everybody else. Putting my name in the application pool just like everybody else. Because the reality is the bills don't stop coming. That's what you're going to have to do. To cause this noise, all this ruckus, because you want more money, to me, it's laughable. It's laughable. This league doesn't have money like that. It just doesn't. I was in a Zoom call. Okay, I'm not even go there, but I'm just going to just say like this. In the NFL, I was on a Zoom call, and literally there was 176 media outlets that were there from all over the country. That's unheard of. Imagine you have to wait over an hour to ask a question. And I wasn't even last in line. I was like below the middle line. There's the NFL and there's everybody else. You are not in the NFL when you're playing for the UFL. And I will even say this much. This is real talk. You should really kiss the ground that Danny Garcia walks on, because without that woman, this league would have probably already crumbled already. She loves the day-to-day operations. She loves being an owner. She loves just being out there. And you could tell if she stops to lose that love, it's not going to be good for you, because the reality is The Rock, I know people like, oh, The Rock is in there. Fans have been asking me all the time, where's The Rock? Well, I don't really have a good answer for you, but I could tell you one thing for sure that's very clear. You can tell a person's desire, especially a man's desire, by their actions. By their actions and what they do and what they don't do. The man was there for opening day. This was the UFL season. I was there. He was there. And he wasn't, from what I could see, there for an entire game. Then towards the end of the season, during the championship, he got an injury. But for the entire season, I didn't see him on the sidelines. And now we're in year 2. And you don't see him. You see less and less. Now he might show up for opening day, but as far as involvement in the league, I think you can see for yourself that it's not there. So the reality is, she does a great job with this league. She puts it together nice. I think you guys should really, really appreciate the work that she's doing, because it's outstanding. It really is. And she really wants this league to make it. And I think things like this labor dispute doesn't help the UFL. It doesn't help. It doesn't help Spring League survive. This is last thing I want to say on this is that this is really like the minor leagues in baseball. But the difference is the minor leagues have a viable product that's been around for a long time. This is the minor leagues of football, and it's not a viable product, meaning it's no guarantees you're going to have another season or season after this. That's the life of spring football. It hasn't gotten past that level yet. You should be looking to help her get past that level. Now, if this league was 5, 6, 7 years into it and they've shown a track history of making money, they've shown a track history of getting profit, then I'll say, yeah, you know what? Maybe the players do deserve more. And she probably, the way she is, would probably offer more money. But the reality is, what would you rather do if you're a business owner or a team that's trying to survive? Would you rather cut some players that cause ruckus because they want more money? Or would you keep them causing more dissension, then may have to pay them more? It's just a domino effect. See, the problem is whether it's, a quarterback gets cut or a player gets cut during this dispute, it's going to be hard for you to prove that that's the reason why you got cut. Not to say it wasn't part of it, but you have to prove this in a court of law. It's going to be hard to prove it. Yes, hearsay, and yes, there's probably some validity to that, and it probably has some truth to it. But proving it is another story. They can always say it was just your performance. You didn't compete as well as the other players. You didn't come in good enough shape. They can always use an excuse like that. That's why it doesn't make sense to get your mind wrapped into a dispute when you should be thinking about balling out, advertising the league. Hey, man, watch it. Tune in. Share everything. Do an interview. Because at the end of the day, even if you win this dispute and the league folds in a year or two, what good is it? People always nowadays, especially young generation, they want to trade the now for the long-term benefit, Don't trade pennies for dollars and don't risk pennies for dollars. Don't trade pennies for dollars and don't risk pennies for dollars. Meaning, it wouldn't be a good investment for me to go ahead and try to, basically take something out of the store, shoplift something in the store for 20, 30 bucks, where it could ruin my reputation, have to pay fines, get arrested, locked up, when you could just buy it for 30 bucks. Or if you can't afford it, don't buy it. It's not worth. That's risking pennies for dollars, risking your reputation, risking everything. Then you'll end up doing it. You'll be like, what was I thinking? Why would I have done that to myself? That's the same situation. Help produce this league. Help this league get off the ground. Help play ball out. To me, this labor dispute is laughable. And the other thing is this. In this dispute, they kept repeating the same thing, creating rules regarding discipline to players who exercise their right of striking. Okay, they don't want you to strike. Oh, if you strike, the league is pretty much going to be a wrap. That's it. So they don't want you to strike. So what would they rather do? Cut you. And the bottom line is going to be hard for them to prove that you got cut because of that, even if it is a fact. If you have a business owner, you would do the same thing. If somebody's unhappy to be there because they want more money and that's their focus, they're not thinking about going to the next level. They just think about creating dissension in the office. They're going to get rid of you. I've been here 30 plus years in corporate America. I'm telling you, they're going to get rid of you. And then you're going to have to prove it in court that they got rid of you because of that. And it's hard to do. And if you go back and forth and let's say you do have a case that's hours and time and money because you have to have an attorney, then you find out, it wasn't even worth me doing all that. I got a little small check and then most of my money went to the attorney. So why did I even bother doing that? That's what you're going to say to yourself. You're looking at the wrong thing. Go in there, ball out for year one, get signed hopefully by the NFL team and move on and go on to something else. That is what your goal should be. Nothing more, nothing less. If you're there year two, the chance is going to get harder for you. Go out and ball out, see what happens. You don't get picked up in year two, say the next year is just going to be for fun, and that probably is going to be my last hurrah. And after that third year, if you make it to that point, you're going to have to start filing applications just like everybody else out there. Start going on Indeed, LinkedIn, asking around, because football in your life is just going to be for recreation at that point. That's just a fact. I'm just being real with you. So this dispute to me is just a lot about nothing. I normally agree with the players, but I don't agree with the players on this at all. This is an opportunity for you to promote yourself, hopefully get to the next level. If you don't get to the next level, it's delaying the inevitable that you're going to have to go to Indeed or go to LinkedIn. That's the reality is. So red beans and rice don't taste so bad while you're playing in this league. I'll tell you that right now, because you have a chance. You have a chance to make it to that level. It's not a slam dunk. It's not a guarantee, but don't confuse the UFL for the NFL. They're two completely different, not even in the same category as far as league dynamics and a run. I'm not trying to put down one or the other, but they're two completely different things. I think the UFL, if they get to that point, they get past the first 5-6 years, I think it'd be a very, very good product. And not only, I think it's a great product right now, but I think it could be something that people look forward to down the years and they could believe in. So this labor dispute is really, to me, just a way for really the attorneys to make money. That's what's going to end up happening at the end of the day. The players are not going to really make money. That's another thing. When you go to court, the attorney makes all the money, not you. You might get what? Check the class action lawsuits. See how much money did you actually get after all the expenses are paid. Pennies on the dollar. But I did want to do something really cool let me go ahead and do this here. You know what? We're going to fatten up somebody's bank account tonight. We're going to fatten it right up. We're going to fatten up somebody's bank account tonight. Y'all don't want to play in the league? There's somebody who does want to play in the league, and I'm going to fatten up their account right now. I'm going to fatten it right now. Don't want to play? That's okay. Because life don't stop because you don't want to play. Just being real with you. But you know what? There is somebody who's going to make something out of nothing. And that is my man, Luis Perez, quarterback Luis Perez. The king, the spring king, is going to be released in less than 2 weeks. Yesterday was announcement. And he's registration. Best way to do is go to Perez Lewis QB right here on Instagram. And you'll see his post of the Spring King. He's got a new book coming out. And the forward is by, Coach Bob Stoops. A Champion's Journey of Passion, Persistence, and Unlimited Possibility by Luis Perez. That is awesome. That is fantastic. From one author to another, I'm excited about this book. I have already reserved to be there during the book launch, which is going to be 2 weeks from yesterday. And I'm going to get a copy. I'm going to get an autographed copy because this is what you do. You market yourself, promote yourself. Life give you lemon, you make lemonade. That's what you do. This is a smart business move. To me, this is genius. Launching in 2 weeks, the Spring King. Make sure you go ahead and get yourself a copy. Quarterback Luis Perez of the Arlington Renegades. I am definitely going to get that book, and I'm excited about it because I'm going to read that book and check it out, learn some more. Because no one knows how it is to be a quarterback playing in spring league more than the ups and downs than Luis Perez. There's a lot of good things that happen to that. And there's, I'm sure, a lot of bad things. So I'm excited about it. Check it out. The Spring King. And that's a cool title too, because that man has been definitely the Spring King. So I'm excited about getting this book. It's going to be awesome. And you guys need to get and support him too. So that's what it's about, and let me just go ahead and say that here. Yeah. So the Spring King, make sure you guys check it out. And just check something here on Instagram, and the feed seemed like it's kind of messing up on Instagram, but that's okay. Yeah, so check out The Spring King. The Spring King by Luis Perez. I'm gonna get me a copy of that book. I'm excited about it, and it's gonna be awesome. And just yeah, so definitely. And Spring King. In fact, let me just see something here. Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna get that copy of that book, get it signed by Luis Perez. I'm excited about it. The Spring King, that's gonna be fantastic. That is some I'm already registered from one author to another. See that right there? Right here. See? That's one book right here. Sweet Poopy, kids book. Sell Your Little Heart Out by Alan Alford. So that just goes to show you right there. I know about corporate America. I know about corporate America sales. And I can tell you what the players are doing in UFL and this players union is a big no-no. 5, 6 years down the road, you make money in the profit. You can ask for profit sharing. You can ask for an increase. Yes, there's a time and a place for everything. Now's not the time. Definitely not. But we will see how this thing plays out. I think the players now that they've been on the field, they got through media week, they're getting excited about playing. I think everything is gonna be fine with the labor dispute, but this is disappointing to hear about it. I did wanna also let you guys know that tomorrow, let me make sure I give you the right time, 9 o'clock in the morning will be an open practice for you to come out, join practice with the Arlington Renegades and the Houston Roughnecks, 9 o'clock, Choctaw Stadium. Be there, try to get there early so you can get on the field, get a good spot. Something like this is a great opportunity for you to engage with the players, get some autographs, get up right up there by the guardrail, and this is awesome. Free event. Go out and see the practice, and it's a good opportunity for you to have fun and mingle with the players. That's fun, and I think practices and times where it's not game days usually are a bit better because you don't have the hustle and bustle of the game right up coming up close to you, time going down. Go out there and have a good time at Choctaw Stadium. Go out there and do your thing. I had shared it, Luis Perez, that 9 o'clock in the morning. They did say that that's the time. Let me just give you guys any FYIs if they have on that, like heads up. We'll just pull that up here. Just but it does start at 9 o'clock. I just want to double check here if there's anything else that they said to look out for. One moment here. Yeah, so that's awesome. I just want to double check here. Okay, so it starts at 9:30. Doors open at 9. Choctaw Stadium is 1,000 Ballpark Way, Arlington, Texas, right across from the baseball field, which is really cool. I mean, you got the baseball field right across the street, and then you got the Cowboy Stadium not too far away either, which is walking distance. That's really cool that they have all three of them right there. Okay, so from the league, the Renegades will host a full team practice open to both fans and media, providing a unique opportunity to see the team's preparations for the upcoming season while also serving as a joint practice with the Houston Roughnecks. Attendees will witness drills, scrimmages, and player interactions up close. Ding, ding, ding. Get a chance to get those autographs. The event will also feature interactive fan activities, including I just took the words out of the sentence. I mean, including opportunities to meet players and coaches. It's a great chance for you to get some autographs, some photo ops. I'm giving you that right here. After practice, you will have access to interviews with key players and coaches. That's an awesome event, man. You guys need to show up. So that's that's awesome. That is awesome. And you heard that here at the Illinois Sports Talk Show. So if you want to go ahead and get an opportunity to go ahead and buy a home and live in Texas and beyond, Florida, any way that your heart desires, New York, California, guess what? We have an option here that can help you out. Give my man Kurt McCrae from CTC Emmy Mortgage a call. That's right, CTC Emmy Mortgage. We really appreciate you being one of our outstanding sponsors here on the Allen Alford Sports Talk Show. That's right, CTC Emmy Mortgage. If you need a home, you need a refinance, you need anything that has anything to do with real estate, Kurt McCrae can help you. That man is licensed in all 50 states. You can visit him at ctcmemortgage.com, or if you want that concierge VIP service, which I recommend VIP service because you get all access. Call or text, weekends, holidays. I know that this is spring break week. My man's on the phone anyway. Call Kurt McCrae or text him at 346-527-7564, 346-527-7564. Give Kurt McCrae a call. I'm gonna go ahead and play the CME Mortgage song. Let's go.
CTC Mortgage Company, they stand by their loyalty. CTC Mortgage Company, you can trust their honesty. Make the call today. There's no extra fees to pay. You can take a loan. You You can trust the honesty. Yeah, no interest rate to pay. Is your man.
CTCME Mortgage Company. CME Mortgage Company. That's right. Give Kurt McCrae a call. Let him give you the keys to that new home. Kurt McCrae can be reached at 346-527-7564. Again, it's 346-527-7564. Thank you, CME Mortgage, for being an outstanding sponsor. We tremendously appreciate you. That is fantastic. And thank you so much, CME Mortgage. So, yes, let me go ahead and talk a little AF1 news. That's right, AF1. Hey, this is going to be really cool that they started out the season and I did that season kickoff. I was excited to cover the first game that was going to be in Orlando. That didn't work itself out. But guess what? Something that's really cool did work itself out. You can go ahead and download the Evergreen Now app, and watch all of the AF1 games. That is right. Let me in fact put that up there. That's fantastic. I've Yes. Make sure you go ahead and do that and get yourself Evergreen Now app. Watch all of the arena football games. Exciting, fun stuff right there. And that right there is I know there's sometimes some things that happen behind the scenes with arena football, but arena football has been around for a long time. And that's cool because you get a chance to now watch the games on your phone, on this app, and you don't have to worry. Yes. Yep, evergreen now. That's right. Make sure you guys download it, check it out, and if you haven't done so already, make sure you follow AF1, AF1 Football, because they just put up a new schedule. It's kinda hard to see it on this screen here, but yes. So, let me just see here. Yes, there's 4 games happening this I'm sorry, let me just make sure. 1, 2, 3, 5. There's 5 games happening this weekend. So, get a chance to check it out. So, the teams, it's Albany, Billings, Corpus, Nashville, Oregon, Galena, South Southwest Kansas, and Washington. Those are the teams. Go ahead and go to AF1 Football to check out the updated Arena Football 1 schedule. And with that Evergreen Now app, you'll be able to see the game this weekend, which is perfect as a spring break. The Billings are at the Lightning. Yes, so that's gonna be great. Check it out. Check it out. And appreciate AF1 Football coming out with that idea right as the season started. So that's fantastic. And definitely, I appreciate AF1 and all that they do. I'm gonna definitely try to see the best I can to come out to some of the games. It is a little bit tougher now that Orlando won't be here, but we're gonna make something happen. We're gonna make something happen. And one of the fans said that, "Hey, they should just because their team didn't make it, they should just close it out and just cancel the season." No, then you wouldn't have any football. So, some football is better than no football. Always remember that. Some football is better than no football. We got 8 teams, same as the UFL. So, that seems like that's the magic number there. And, yes, that's cool. Another thing is, let me just see here. Yes. So what we're gonna do is we have a special guest here. We have a special guest. Let's go ahead and bring him on. Hey, how you doing?
All right, Alan, thanks.
Alright, that's fantastic. Let me just go ahead. Just give me
I use quarter bar. Okay. Yeah. Like a chapstick, it doesn't taste like anything. It's literally 3 ingredients. Like beeswax, yeah, the cortisol. I'm still here. Like this, like my favorite talks like don't use chapstick. The brand of chapstick uses sunblock and this and that. Like the ingredient list is like 10 ingredients. Yeah. Right. Technically, you only need like beeswax for stuff like this. When you use this thing called cortisol or Vaseline, the ingredient like cortisol is the same thing. Different brand name. It's just like 3 ingredients. That's it. Yeah. Shit. It tastes disgusting. I think that what you tasted? Yeah, sometimes I taste that. Yeah, so gross. But I used to get chapstick and I got like a pumpkin pie flavor once and like I just licked my lip. Yeah. Now I just I don't know about wait. That's what the turn. Okay. That kids sleep like 2 days off. Oh, hey.
I can't hear you. I'll come back in. I'll come back in.